Hey guys, don't mind the hair. Anyways, I was on YouTube a few days back. God, I hate this hair. Anyways, I was on YouTube just scrolling and I found this video of this guy on Street Beefs doing Mantis Kung Fu in a fight, and he ends up winning. And during the video, he shows the applications of the the applications that he was using in that fight. And I think that was one of the best, if not the best, applications of Kung Fu that I've ever seen. So without further ado, let's just hop into it and let me break it all down for you as well, because I am very excited about this video, and of course I'm a big Kung Fu nerd. And another thing I'm a nerd about is books, like I don't know, like fantasy stuff, sci-fi stuff, superhero stuff. And by the way, I'm writing a book that has all three of those things called Odds for Odyssey. More of that at the end of the book, but let's just get into the video. This is a very common technique in Kung Fu. It's also in other martial arts like karate, taekwondo, and all them. Now, typically, you'd pull off by grabbing the back or the side of the opponent's head and then bringing it to your elbow. But I like how he sort of mixed it with like an arm drag and he brought it in. I think that was good improvisation on his part, and yeah, he's very creative and not just a big guy, you know. Now, this is a very interesting sort of technique. You see it a lot in Kung Fu. And here's why. By the way, my hair's gone back to normal now, kind of. And no longer feel shit about looking at it. But yeah, whatever. In Kung Fu, you don't have like a lot of guys holding their guard up like this, like a boxer. You'll have them with their hands up and out like this, so it's easier to block and to intercept incoming attacks. But once you have your hands out like this, and by the way, if your opponent does have your hands out like this and they have their guard out like this, a good idea is to punch their forearms, punch their hands, because that'll hurt them, and they will slowly but surely drop their hands, and then boom, you can land a good hit on them. So if you're gonna have your arms out like this, you're gonna have to like move, do something with your hands, give it a little flair, you know, give a little bit of that Kung Fu-ness into it. So A, it'll cause distractions. B, it'll be easier to like block and shit. C, the hands won't get hit and your arms won't have to drop. And by the way, if you see like Victorian boxers do this kind of thing, it's the same thing, but with closed fists. All right, here's another good application. It's called the back hammer fist. Very similar to a traditional hammer fist. And you'll see it a lot in MMA when like one guy's down on the ground and another guy's on top of him. He's just going down, boom, boom, boom. He his hand up in the air like this. Sort of brings it around sometimes, or like up to the ear. Other people have different ways of doing it. Some people do it up like this, like I said earlier, and bring it down. Other people bring it up to the ear and then bring it back down, and they're hitting with this part of the hand, and that's a hammer fist. Now, a back hammer fist, exact same thing, but with the back of the fist. Now, it actually does hurt a little bit when you're going with the back of the fist, which is why traditionally you'd want to do it with the side of the fist. But I suppose if you are wearing gloves, then of course you can do the back of the fist. I mean, people throw back fists in MMA as well. So yeah, back hammer fist, definitely useful, definitely unorthodox. Not a lot of people are going to expect you to throw it. This guy, very creative with it. He went down and then went back up like this. Very cool stuff. Now watch this, it's really cool. That sort of position that he ended up in, very Kung Fu-esque. You'll see in a lot of styles. And the purpose is obviously to create distance. I mean, yeah, that's why you have your hand out. That's why you're bringing your fist back, so you can go back in with a punch. Or one way you can do it as well. If there's one person in front of you, another person behind you, create distance, and then elbow the other person behind you. Also, the footwork is this. You're gonna want to end up in what's called a cat stance. Now, this is in many other styles of martial arts as well. It's also in karate, and it's also in Muay Thai as well. You know, you'll see them lift their legs up like this a lot. And yeah, that's the sort of defensive position that you can do. And you see, because he created that distance, you can block easily. He gets taken down, but it's okay because he uses these very traditional sort of wrapping around the arms block. You'll see it a lot in many different Kung Fu styles. And ooh, that was a nice strike. Now that sort of looping jab is very common in Kung Fu. Some people call it a hooking punch, some people call it a throw punch, or a long distance hook. There's many names to it, but it's pretty much just like going in and just boom, just like that. And it's one thing that I like to use a lot in sparring as well. And you're hitting with the side of the knuckle here. Some styles would also advise the back part here, so going around like this, which I guess is also fine, but yeah, traditionally you'd want to do this part here. Watch this, is also really cool. This sort of block is many styles of martial arts. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's somebody coming up on top of you like this, just go up like this, or go up like that. And yeah, he does pretty well there. And he does a nice follow-up. And you can see here he does some clench work, which is pretty common in Mantis Kung Fu. And that's just a regular punch. And yeah, this is also like a kind of defensive technique. And here he is using the sort of traditional punches, bring the arm back to the waist, and then he bows at the end. Now that arm back to the waist isn't really just a Kung Fu thing. It's also a karate thing, it's a Taekwondo thing. If you'll see boxing manuals from the 1800s, they'll also have the arm back at the waist as well. So it's not just an Eastern thing either. And here's the reason why you do it. So I want you to take your arm like this, make a fist, put your other arm on your pec and your shoulder, bring this arm back, and feel all these muscles engage. All right, now if I'm up here, I'm not gonna have that same engagement. But if I bring it all back here, and I fire that back I have a lot more muscle and I have a lot more strength behind that. Now, of course, I'm not saying you should drop your hands every time you punch, but if your opponent is tired and they're fucked, then yeah, you can bring it back and you can deliver that sort of power. Also, another cool thing about those sort of traditional punches is that once you're making that sort of wind up, once you're going back with one shoulder and going forwards with another, you're actually creating power by just bringing the other side back like that. And I want you to try that if you do martial arts. Every time you throw a punch, every time you throw some sort of strike, I want you to focus on the opposite side going backwards, so that the arm you're striking with, say if you're throwing a jab, and you're bringing back your crossing hand, your other side here. Focus on bringing this arm back and feel how easy it is to sort of snap out that jab. And yeah, that's about it for today's video. But before I end off the video, let me tell you about this book that I'm writing. It's called Odds for Your Odyssey. It's got all the typical superhero stuff, it's got all the typical sci-fi stuff, it's got all the typical fantasy stuff. And this wizard and this cyborg bounty hunter and this superhero all team up, and they go on this epic quest in this big planet called Okran, the biggest planet of that universe. Nobody knows the whole thing. Nobody's discovered the whole thing. They never had an age of exploration because it's so fucking big and dangerous. And they go on this, dare I say, odyssey to prevent the apocalypse. And hey, I'm fucking psyched about this book. And until it comes out, think fucking limitless. Mwah.